All right.
Right.
So welcome everybody to our Growth You webinar series. We've done many of these throughout this year, and I am so thrilled to have these two gentlemen with me today. So to my right is my partner in crime.
Might be the
Paul.
left on your screen.
It
but
might
it's to the
be,
right here.
is Paul Mend. We are co-leads at Growth You. I'm Denise Mend. Paul, now guys, today you are here because you are interested in why resolutions don't stick and what can you do about it, and how can we actually make real change in our lives that we desire. So you're going to go away with some specific ideas, strategies today that will really help you get what you want in your health and energy specifically. But for any resolution that you feel you've tried and hasn't worked, you're going to go away with some ideas today that are actually going to help you get the change that you desire. So Paul Mend was a teacher, coach for over 30 years. Really, he's still a coach. He still coaches. Volleyball is his main sport. And we discovered growth together about 7 years ago. Paul has helped thousands of young people meet their goals in all sorts of domains. And I couldn't imagine going through this growth journey without him. And then on my left screen, or maybe your right as you're watching, is John Oliver. So John Oliver has been with Growth You and one of our sister online brands, NASP, the National Association of Sales Professionals, for probably over 8-10 years, John.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably coming up on 8 about now, maybe
Yeah.
more. Not sure.
And more than that, John has a wealth of experience. He actually owns a gym. He has his master's in exercise physiology. He has helped thousands of people meet their goals, not only from a health and energy and strength perspective, he has also helped them nutritionally. And the most importantly, he discovered that likely the most important thing that his clients, friends, family needed was this piece that we're going to talk about today, which is what's up here, right? How do we use our beautiful, brilliant brain to really get what we want? So John, I'm going to share a screen because I've got a few slides that will really help this. So thank you, John. Is there anything else you want to, tell us all?
No, I have the background of the gym. That's a pun because, right, we know that at the end of the day, we want to put the work in, but you can't get there every day, right? You can't physically be there. And maybe you can, but the mental gym is what I found, over the years that I've been doing this, and now it's funny to say 2 decades. I've seen the same things, right? The diet, the exercise, right? The nutritional supplements, all of the stuff. And what I found is people always rebounded, right? Who here has tried something and then given up, right? Or tried something, it just didn't work for me. And, I started working, I did a class, I did this, whatever it may be. And why does that happen? And so until I found the piece where it was the mental gym, right? Working on yourself, working on that mental piece of it, those self-limiting beliefs, maybe those behavioral patterns that we don't even know that are holding us back, right? We're doing things that we just don't even realize, that little voice that says, well, Paul, you can't do this, you're too old. Denise, well, you don't, you're a woman because, and you're gonna have more body percent fat because you've had children, right? All these excuses that we're listening to, but we don't realize that mental side of it is really where we're going to gain that perspective and really open up and unlock what our body's potentials are, right? What our mind's potentials are. So,
Yeah.
Oh, look at this, man.
You know what? So this was back, I think pre-pandemic,
Yeah.
right? At a retreat at Music Hill Ranch, which we'll have another one in March coming up here. And, this is a beautiful example of people having fun, being active together. And so I just, A, there's such great memories from this. And B, I really wanted to hone in on what do people need. We talk about New Year's resolutions, and there's actually a national quitting day. It's like January 17th, when most people give up on their New Year's resolutions. So what is the magic in focusing on what you want, John?
Yeah, great question. It's so funny because there's a secret. We're going to give you the secret. Who's ready? Secret is right here. We have these 4 laws of focus, right? And let's go through them. You can see this visual, but what you focus on, you find, right? How many people, let's say you're looking at a new car, or you're looking at something and you're like, oh, look at this color. I've never seen this color before. And then everywhere you drive, you've now focused on how cool this color is, and you see it. You see it everywhere. Well, this transfers to our lives, right? So obviously what we're going to focus on, we're going to find. If it's negativity, you're going to find it. And if it's positivity, you're also going to find it. The next motion is what you focus on grows, right? So we know the grass isn't always greener. It's greener where you water it, right? So if you put the energy, the effort into what you now want to focus on, right? Is that getting healthier? Is that the relationship with friends or family, right? Is that your nutrition? Then that's going to continue to grow. Also, it works in reverse, right? Because if you focus on the things that are going wrong, you focus on the negativity, right? Those little voices again, that's going to grow as well. And then what we realize is that it seems real. No matter what we do, right? When we put that focus on something we want to find, we're watering that, right? We're growing that, it's going to seem real. And that's a great thing. Again, works both ways. Let's play devil's advocate. It can seem really, really real that you're in a negative place, that you have no help, that there's no support there for you, that you can't do this. But also, if you focus on that you can, and that you're getting better, and that you're striving for something a little bit each day, right? Couple steps forward, not 10 steps forward. And it's just one step in the right direction, inch by inch, it's all becomes a cinch, right? And so that ultimately you will become what you're looking for. Now, this all sounds easy. Yeah, great, John, I'm going to focus on this, and then it's going to grow, and it's going to seem real, and then I'm going to become it. No, it doesn't happen overnight. And that's where really this had come in with the programs, the behavioral conditioning, right? And that might be something new for you, but what does that mean? Well, I can focus on these things, but I don't have the support system. Cool. We'll get to that. I don't have the daily accountability. We're going to get to that too, right? I don't know if I have, the right people in my life and the right culture. Yep, we got you on that one as well. So we're going to get you through these. And again, think about this. Any aspect of your life, how many times have we gone through and we focused on something so intently, and then it kept growing, right? Good or bad. And it seemed like it was real. And then ultimately, that's what ended up happening. Sometimes we can manifest negativity. We can also manifest positivity, right? And I'm not saying when you focus on, I want to be a billionaire, and then all of a sudden it's going to happen, but you're going to grow and it's going to seem real, right? And then you're ultimately going to create that identity. And we're going to talk a little bit about the identity shift and how to get there. Because now you're saying, Paul, Denise, John, how do I create this shift, right? How can I focus on these? How can I make this grow, right? How can I become this? And so that, I think, is so important. And some of this is new, and some of this you're like, oh yeah, I've seen before, right? But bear with us here, because we're going to really show you how you can become what you want.
Yeah. And I wanted Paul to speak to this too, because one of your superpowers is connection. So, and John talked about this a little bit, that community is important. And so what is important about connecting with others as you focus on what you want, to John's point?
Well, as the psychology teacher for the last 16 years I was teaching, we have a cybernetic brain, right? And it's going to basically do what we focus on, as John just spoke to. And, that little piece in our brain that sits around the middle is called the reticular activating system. And what John just spoke to is how that reticular activating system works, right? And so what we know is that for change to happen, we have to have a significant why. Why do we want to change? Because if you don't have a reason why you want to do something different, whether it's quit smoking or quit drinking or get in shape or be a better parent or whatever that looks like, if you don't have a reason behind it, probably not going to happen, right? But the connection piece that Denise was just talking about is that accountability group. When you have other people doing this with you, all of a sudden you have a reason, because I can't let those people down because they're all doing it. And if I don't do it, then I'm going to be, that odd person out. And all of a sudden there's this incentive now to stick with it. And that's the beautiful thing about our programs. We currently have 44 people going through this program, right? And it's amazing how everybody's finishing on time. They're all doing the work and they're supporting each other. And so the one that's going to start on January 9th, because that's right around the time
Sneak
of
peek.
National
Sneak
Quitters
peek.
Day. We're going to have this program so that you are going to be successful in that next New
And,
Year's resolution.
even if people, don't do a program, this focus, and then what you speak to is telling somebody what you want is so powerful, so let's just click on this. When do you daydream? So John, you talked a little bit about, what we want and that we're not going to get it right away. But can you speak a little bit about creating, an idea of what it is that we actually want, especially around New Year's when people are focusing on their health and how strong they are and how fit they are?
Mhm.
What would you say to somebody?
This is great. And you hit the nail on the head, Denise. So we got to write it down, or we need to tell somebody, right? Whether it's a significant other, a friend, a family member, or maybe one of us, right? To hold them accountable. And I think that when, Paul spoke about the why, right? We hear about the kid gets trapped under a car and the mom can lift the car off. Why? Why? Because she believed that she could. And in that instance, she had to, right? Something had to happen, these miracles, these unexplained, things that people could do. Well, this goes right into, we can think about something, but unless we really put the focus on why, right? Why do I want to get in health? Or in better shape or better health, right? Do I have a high risk of cancer, stroke, diabetes, right? Do I feel uncomfortable? Do I look in the mirror when I step out of the shower? Let's get real and say, I'm not happy with that person, right? Do I try on the clothes and I just don't feel comfortable or want to go on that vacation or what does that look like? Why, right? Do I have friends and family members that I need to be there for, right? Am I a parent, right? I am. Do I want to set this example? Like, let's get really real and put down that why. The other great thing about that is throughout our programs, you're going to be able to do that and it's completely confidential, right? You can share as much as you want, but no one is going to look in and see what you wrote down. You can write down, I hate this, Paul, maybe do it every day. Well, that's fine, because eventually you're going to move through this, what we call deception, and we'll explain that a little bit, into this transformation. But really, you got to get real with yourself, right? And making that commitment to do something, right? Everybody commits on New Year's. Yeah, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to go to the gym, and in 2 weeks, I'm going to have abs. No, you're not, right? We know that that's not going to happen. Oh, boom, perfect. The vision triangle. And
so I pulled this up because this is exactly what you're talking about, right?
Yep.
So you talked about purpose. Why do we want something? What you're talking about is creating a vision. So speak a little bit more about, what is it that we want to write down in a vision? You talked about writing it down.
Yeah, let's look at what it looks like a month from now, 6 months from now, a year from now. I want you to visualize what it feels like. Do you have a vacation coming up, a significant event, a birthday, right? A trip, a wedding, an anniversary, something. What does that look like? When people talk about, let's go back to the car analogy, I'll use that a few times, but a new vehicle, right? Or a new house. Well, how do you know what that feels like unless you go and physically go to the dealership, sit in it, right? Smell that leather, look at the amenities, the wood grain, the different things that it has. And then how can you transition to that change, right? And so one of the things that we've seen when creating this vision, it can be very small. And then you can build on it consistently to make it bigger. It doesn't have to be what we call this BHAG, this big, hairy, audacious goal. Sure, I want to be on the beach, Denise and Paul playing volleyball with six-pack abs and absolutely fit, and all the 20-year-old people are coming up going, how do I be like, right? That's the long term. Let's look at the short term of it. Is just getting consistent, right? Of, hey, I'm going out for a walk 3 times a week, or I'm getting in X amount of water intake, right? Looking at those small obtainable things so then we can get to the big, larger vision. And along this, right, we've created that purpose, that vision. It becomes your identity. I know that today I'm going to the gym. if I don't go, I literally get frustrated with myself. I know that my daughter, I pick her up from school here in about an hour. We got some time. She has basketball practice. During that time, I'm going and to the gym. That's what I'm going to do. And I know I have a specific window that I can do that. Right? But also, I won't feel good. I physically don't feel good because it's my identity. Now, most people aren't there. Don't worry. I get it. It's still a struggle. I enjoy it. And actually, it's almost like my kryptonite. If I don't go, I don't feel as good. I mentally think that I'm not feeling as good, and I'm not, so those kind of things, this all goes into this really great progression of this vision, this purpose, vision, identity. What is this? And then am I capable of doing it? Which we're going to talk a little bit about as well, too.
And I love what you said about, taking too big of a piece. It's like, that saying, how do you eat an elephant? Well, one bite at a time, right? Like you can't just take the whole thing. And, as a gym owner, and I worked in gyms when I was younger, we know that in the gym industry, New Year's is like, woohoo, because all these people come and sign up and they get a 6-month or a year-long membership because they're really going to do it this year. And then about 3 weeks later, they just stop showing up, and the gym's made all this money, but they're not using the equipment. And as gym owner, we want them to use the equipment. We want them to be there. We want them working out. We want them getting healthier. But it is one of those things. So
quick caveat, Paul, not to interrupt, but that's what most membership-based gyms want. That those very, very inexpensive ones, they actually strive on you signing up and making it affordable enough that you won't cancel. Right, affordable enough that you're like, well, maybe sometime I'll go. It's that subscription, right, that you have, because they don't want you. And they couldn't actually support fire capacity wise, right? Fire code. They couldn't support all the memberships they sell. They sell hundreds, if not thousands, of memberships every month. So let's get something out of it, right?
Yeah, it's crazy. And, we talked a little bit about the cycle of growth, John, earlier. We just teased that. And I don't have a graphic for that. However, I know that you use this all the time with your clients to help them understand. So this, talking about the cycle of growth, and, people are going to recognize what it is as we talk about it.
I have one if you want it quick.
Yeah. Why don't you pull it up?
Okay, I can share.
My share. You pull it up.
Oh, I always got this on hand. At any point, I got this on hand. Love it. Let's go right here. Let's see. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, there it is.
All right,
okay.
Perfect. So this
John,
way,
talk about this. Yeah.
Love this. Don't get too tied up on the words and whatnot, but I'm going to break it down real simple, because when I first saw it, I was a little confused. But what happens is every one of us goes through this progression, if you will, right? We go through this cycle of growth, this cycle of performance, right? When we've learned how to walk, or we learn how to talk, or we learn how to bike, right? We all go through these things all the time. And what's really interesting, I think that people don't understand how powerful this is. And so we start out in this inception, right? We don't know what we don't know, but we're excited. This is everybody, yay, New Year's, I'm going to get in shape. Great, wonderful, boom. And then what you talked about, right? That National Quitting Day, boom, that's that deception, right? That is when we hit that deception, when most people quit, right? When most people give up, that's right where it hits, right? What we've done is created this daily accountability, right? This active work that you're going to do to move you from this deception at the bottom of this half pike, if you will, into this transformation, right? So you were super excited at the beginning again, right? Didn't know what you didn't know. You soon find out, wow, I don't really know how to do this. The gym's intimidating. What about all these machines? I don't know what people are lifting. They're doing all of these things, right? We become what we call consciously incompetent. We don't know. We want to quit. We want to go back to unknowing, right? We want to go back to the comfort zone, which everybody knows nothing gets accomplished in the comfort zone. We got to get a little uncomfortable, right? We got to create that habit. And so then we move you into this transformation, doing daily actionable things. Doesn't take a lot of time. You can do this from anywhere, at any time, on any computing device, including your cell phone. You can log in 1 time a day, 100 times a day. You can spend 5 minutes on this. You can spend 50 minutes, completely up to you. But you're to work on that conscious competence, right? Moving you into this transformation and climbing up that other side to create this new identity, right? Think about when you learned how to ride a bike, or when you learn how to swim. You thought you were going to cannonball into the ocean or into the pool and just know how to swim. No, you found out very quickly. Same thing with riding a bike. We all fell, right? We didn't give up. Most people here, I assume, drive a car. Now think about it. You didn't give up. We now can drive a car, talk on the phone, eat something, drink something, get from where we were at to where we were going. And we pretty much forgot that we even did it because it's our identity. We didn't get into an accident. We didn't get a speeding ticket. We just did it because we didn't think about it. We were unconsciously competent. We knew how to do it. So don't get discouraged. Everything that you start, everything that's new, you're going to go through this, right? We're going to start high, we're going to drop low, and we're going to build ourselves back up. But the great part, the key here is once you've built that identity, then you can start stacking identities. And we'll get to that eventually, but this is the fun part. And that's why we've created the program. People say, well, Denise, Paul, like, why is it 60 days? Right? We know what it takes to make or break a habit. We also know what the brain's going to do. We know that we need to get that consistency, that daily accountability, right? I played sports all my life, right? At the highest level, I always had a coach. I always had a mentor. I had a strength. I had somebody keeping me accountable, which is why I'm so drawn to these things. I know how much it works. Even to this day, we all hear every psychologist has a psychologist, right? Every shrink has a shrink. Every coach has a coach. Every billionaire has another person that's right. That is what we do. And so the beauty of this is that you have it in the palm of your hand, right? You have it in the comfort of your own home, and you can really create this identity without going to the gym, without changing your nutritional habits. Now, will that probably change? Yeah, guarantee it will, right? But just by creating that mindset, that daily conditioning, right? And this isn't to fake it till you make it. This is actually do the work. Could put a little in, could put a lot in. Right.
And I love that, John, talking about how this supports your mental focus in getting to the identity that supports who you really want to be, right? Now, so Paul, tell us a little bit about, so John has teased us a little bit, he's talked about, and some of you might be going, well, what is he talking about? 60 days in a program. And
Paul, I gave it away.
Speak a little bit about, so all of you have learned 3 major things are going to help you to get what you want in the new year, even starting today before New Year's happens. You're going to focus on what you want as opposed to what you don't want. You're going to write down what you want and think about why you want it. So you're going to create a vision and a purpose behind it in your health, in your energy, in something new that you want. And no, you can keep it up there, John. What else are we going to do?
Well, the third thing is we're going to create a new habit or a new pattern up here, right? Because ultimately our brain, I've already mentioned, is a cybernetic organism, and it just runs like our phone does, right? We have little apps on our phone that run certain things. And when the app gets, old, it updates it. Well, question is, when's the last time we updated this? Right? When's the last time you updated your health and energy goals and really stuck with it for a period of time to create that new neural pathway? John spoke to getting to identity, right? When you get to identity, you're going to be upset with yourself if you don't go to get that workout in, or you don't go for that run, or you don't eat healthy, because it's now your identity. So it's like you have to go because you've now created this identity by being consistent over 60 days. And what we know is the brain, in order to create those new neural pathways, it takes anywhere from 30, 45, 60 days. And we know 60 days is probably the most beneficial because, that's going to set you up for success, because you're not going to be able to stop once you hit that 60-day mark. You're going to have hit identity. And what we know is there is no there. And so it's like, okay, what next? You've now maybe dropped 20 pounds. You've now quit smoking. You've cut back on your drinking, or you've quit drinking completely, or whatever that looks like for you, whatever your goals are. Okay, so now what's next? What do you want to do? What else do you want to change within your health and energy? Because what we know is our health and energy is the center of our universe. I'm battling a cold right now. And let me tell you, it's one of those things where it's just like, oh, I want to go to the gym, but I know my body is saying, you know what, you need another rest day. So, I'm listening, right? I'm listening. I'm visualizing my workout because I'm still doing it because I want to be there. And because I have that identity, I can manage that and I can manifest that so that as soon as I'm feeling back to normal, I'm back in the gym immediately and ready to go. because I haven't lost that identity that I've created
Yeah.
over 7 years.
And we know that John is definitely identity because most of the calls we're on with John, he's
He's
at the gym. John, why don't you stop sharing and I'll just, most of you are going to be watching this on replay, but what I will put up here is that when you see the recording of this, there will be links for you. So I know that all of you have received really great ideas about what you're going to focus on and getting a head start on New Year's, right? Start now focusing on what you want, particularly around your health, as Paul said. If your health is suboptimal, it's hard to get anywhere else. And what we're going to do in the new year, starting January 9th, is that we're going to be running this 60-day program called Re-Evolution, right? And so this is a time when you get accountability because there'll be a group of us going through together. There will be, focus to help you really think about what you want in your health and in your energy. And there's going to be really a focus on purpose and creating that new identity in what you want. So,
And a super supportive group to go through, as Denise just
so
mentioned.
many amazing people.
And everybody's gonna be at a different level. Some people's goals may be, higher or lower than yours, depending on where you're at. And so just know that everybody's journey is going to be different. If, as John mentioned earlier, it's just, drinking more water, getting 1 push-up a day, going for a walk, that's like a big change for you, then awesome. We're going to support you and cheer you on for that. And if it's like, laying down more lean muscle and getting those abs, like John talked about, we're going to support you there. And so wherever you are at on your health and energy journey, know that you're going to have a supportive team and like-minded people going through it with you.
So there will be a link to register. And if you use the link from the webinar, we will give you a special code as a Christmas present from us at Growth U. So John, anything else that you would leave people who are watching this recording with to really
Yeah, one of the things I love to tell people, one of my favorite quotes from Dr. Wayne Dyer said, if you change the way you look at things, things you look at change. And I always added on to that, but if nothing changes, nothing changes. So you got to make the shift. Here's the thing. It's a no-brainer, right? Even if you just did this program and changed nothing else about your nutrition and your fitness just for 60 days, you're going to change the way you think. And that is going to be, it's going to be evident in everything: friends, family, relationship, coworkers, everything that you do. But if you really want to put a little more effort into it, I think as weeks progress, week 2, week 4, week 6, you're going to see that you're going to want to do and add more things to this. And one of the great things is you're going to have us to support you throughout the entire program, our team. It's that accountability, right? That you want to do it. And don't worry, there's no judgment. There's complete exclusivity to it, right? You can be a fly on the wall if you want to, and you can do everything privately. We don't see any of your work that you write down, but at the end of the day, also joining the calls and being with us on this journey. There's some amazing master trainers and advisors that are going to be there, let alone ourselves. And we're here to support you throughout it. So make that change, right? Why wait?
Yeah, I love it. So thank you so much, John. I know people are going to take away some really valuable nuggets. And if you want to get started now, look in the link below the recording and you can sign up for free daily growth as well to get something every day in your inbox to inspire you. So really have an amazing winter, holiday, Christmas, whatever you celebrate coming up. And anything else, Mr. Mend?
Just look forward to having all of you in the program starting on January 9th. So
Amazing. Love y'all. And we'll see you
Take care,
again.
guys.
Bye.
Thanks, John.